The title of my presentation is Real Estate Investment in Japan. Because my specialty is real estate and finance, especially establishing real estate fund. Usually more than 1 billion, 2 billion. And my title, I have 3 titles. First title is as attorney at law in Japan, and the second title is certified tax accountant in Japan. And third title is because my specialty is finance. I had a non-full-time job as outside director of Shikoku Bank. It is a Japanese local bank listed in Tokyo Stock Exchange. And the second slide. This is my resume. And some additional comment is recently I was awarded by 5 London located certain organization, and three global law expert and corporate INTN and lawyers network, and awarded as banking and finance lawyer law firm in Japan, and other 2 are global business magazine and readers in law, and awarded by foreign investment direct investment lawyer in Japan. That is my short introduction. And the third slide is certain disclaimer. I'll skip it. And the fourth slide is table of contents. And just a quick sheet. And from slide 4, it is the beginning of the main presentation. It is Q&A style. And the Q1 is why investment in Japan, Japanese real estate. The surge in foreign investment in Japanese real estate is driven by mainly 3 factors, I think. First is the price of Japanese real estate, and the second is low interest loans, and the third is foreign exchange weekend. And the next slide is a summary. At first, price of Japanese real estate still remain relatively undervalued by global standard. So they have shown a strong upward trend in recent years, especially in Tokyo and especially in residence, due to increased foreign investment. And on one side, as my business, I'm supporting this kind of foreign investment. It is good thing. But on the other side, I'm also consumer in Tokyo. From that perspective, it is not a good thing. But I have both sides. And the second slide I point is interest rate on loans provided by Japanese banks for real estate investment are around 2 to 3% annual. Recently, I think. It has been increased, but it is still remain this range, I think. And many mortgage loans in foreign countries are still, no, it is in Japan. Many mortgage loans are still below 1% in Japan. In contrast, interest rate offered by foreign banks are typically around 6 to 8%. So it is one of the main reasons why foreign investor want to invest in Japan with Japanese banks loan. And therefore, obtaining a loan from a Japanese bank can result in a more efficient real estate investment. And the third point is the recent depreciation of the yen has increased a favorable investment environment for foreign investors. These are 3 factors, backgrounds. And question 2, what are the problems investing in foreign real estate? It is a general topic, and in general, there are general means it is not limited to Japanese investment. In general, there are 3 main issues. First is legal, and the second is tax, and third is practical matters. And the next slide is question 3. Real estate investment from foreign country to Japan. At issue 1, what are the legal issues? And these 4 bullets general topic. Many countries prohibit or restrict foreign individuals or corporations from directly investing in their domestic real estate. And the second point is to ensure limited liability and tax efficiency. It is necessary to establish a company when investing in Japanese real estate through a corporate structure. As I will mention later, there are several types of investment structure, and the corporate structure is one of the types. And the third bullet is to ensure limited liability and more tax efficiency. It is necessary to establish or set up a fund when using a real estate fund structure. It is also one of the category of investment structure. I will describe detail after later. And the fourth variety is real estate funds are also subject to various regulations for investor protection. It is a very, very complicated point when foreign investors want to invest in Japan. And I am the specialist in this area. And from next slide is certain detail. First is prohibition and restriction on investment in Japanese real estate by foreign individual and corporation. In Japan, foreign individual and corporation are generally free to invest in real estate, with only a few exceptional cases where restricted may apply. But this kind of exception is very limited, such as around the area of airport or army area. So generally speaking, foreign investor may invest in Japan and may become direct owner of Japanese real estate. And the second point is investing in Japanese real estate through a Japanese company. In this case, you need to establish a company. And to ensure limited liability for foreign investors, a joint stock company, in Japan, it is called Kabushiki Gaisha. So the summary is KK, summary title is KK, or a limited liability company. In Japan, the title is Godo Gaisha. So the summary title is GK, is typically established. And establishing a company, it requires some specialist, the involvement of an attorney and or judicial services. In BYBJ, we may have this kind of, I'm a lawyer, and also we may have judicial services. And the third point is using a real estate fund structure. It is a little bit complicated. So I may explain a very executive summary of it. But in this case, you need to establish a fund. And in a real estate fund, if a real estate fund is used, it is necessary to establish or set up the fund. And it is a Japanese case. Real estate fund in Japan generally take one of the following three forms. And the first form is a corporate type, using limited liability companies such as KK and GK or GK. And the second type is partnership type. And the third type is trust type. In Japan, we have trust legal frame. And note, it is important part. Corporation type GK and the partnership type TK. TK is one of the type of one of the partnership. Japanese title is Tokumei Kumiai, but English title and meaning is silent partnership. And the investor need to be passive. That is a type of a silent partnership. And the combination of corporate type GK and partnership type TK structure are often combined as GK-TK scheme. It is the most common real estate investment fund structure, not only used in domestic matters, but also foreign investment matters. And as a three point are some marketing for specialists. For corporate type fund, attorney or judicial service are necessary to incorporate the company. And for the partnership type fund, an attorney is necessary to draft and execute a partnership agreement. And the third point, for trust type fund, a trust company or trust bank, it is licensed business player specialized in trust business, and along with an attorney, it's necessary to prepare and execute a trust agreement. This is third point. And the fourth point is using a real estate fund. There is a investor protection regulation. The following is a very summary. In general, real estate funds are subject to various investor protection regulations. The special regulation vary depending on the fund structure. The first is corporate type, second is partnership type, and the third is trust type. The summary is, in case of just only corporate type, the Company Act will govern investor protection. And in case of only trust type, Trust Business Act will govern investor protection. But the second partnership type is the most complicated. It is governed by Japanese security law, financial and FIA so-called. So, but it is very, very complicated. And it is necessary to obtain legal advice on real estate fund regulation from an attorney specialized in finance law. The number of attorneys who may provide this kind of advice is very limited. Mainly mega Japanese law firms, big or big five, or certain specialized foreign law firms such as Clifford Chance or so-called Magic Circle law firm in London, and certain US law firms. And question 3, real estate investment from foreign country to Japan, issue 2. It is what are the tax issues? And the direct investment in Japanese real estate by foreign individual corporation is subject to Japanese tax law. And if a company established in Japan is used to invest in real estate, Japanese corporate tax apply to that company. And investing through a real estate fund for tax saving purpose require knowledge of complex fund taxation. And the distribution to foreign investors involve complex international tax consideration. Due to time limitation, I'll skip the detailed explanation. But the first slide is as to the Japanese tax laws. And the issue is, the exact point is, there is a context of domestic source income, and for the investor, it will be imposed Japanese tax on domestic source income. And also, especially if for the investor own so-called permanent establishment in Japan, the tax rate will arise. That is the exact point of the first slide. And the second slide, an investor via Japanese company. This is the second corporation structure. It is useful to obtain limited liability, but the issue is the Japanese corporation tax will be imposed, and the rate is relatively high. In Japan, it is approximately 35%. So it is lose investment efficiency. So that is the issue. And the third slide is real estate fund structure fund taxation. The main reason why real estate fund, complex fund is used is to obtain tax efficiency, especially to save corporation tax. For that purpose, it is generally used to GKTK scheme. And there is a certain special tax structure, but I will skip the detail. And the fourth slide is dividend for the investors. It is internal taxation issue. So in case for the investment, we need to consider these 3 tax laws. First is Japanese tax law, and the second is foreign tax laws, and also third is tax treaty. So it is very complicated. And this is the last slide. Real estate investment from foreign country to Japan what are the practical issue? And the first issue is when establishing Japanese corporation, whether Japanese resident director is required. And the conclusion is no at present by the amendment of the Company Act. But the practical issues, if the established company wanna obtain loan from Japanese bank, it's general practice for the Japanese banks to require Japanese resident director. So if you need to obtain loan, you need to hire some Japanese resident as director. That is a practical point. So this is the last slide, and my apology for taking time, but that is all of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sakai-san. It's a great presentation. We could learn a lot about real estate investment, including the tax. Yeah, it's a wonderful presentation. Thank you so much, Sakai-san.
Thank you.
Thank you.